Hey, this is your boy Jay Steve from the Soul Fresh Podcast. And before we get started, make sure you go to YouTube, smash that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Now that that's out the way, let's get it.
All right, welcome back to the Soul Fresh Podcast. I'm your host, BK.
And I'm your host, Jay Steve.
Man, we got a great show today. We're going to be talking about some current events. We've got a special guest, one of the homies. We got him joining us to help us talk about some of these little current events and these discussions. Yep. Everybody is losing their mind over this Chris Rock.
It's become quite divisive.
Yes, very. And we got a lot to talk about on it. And we got some different opinions. Our guest might have a different opinion. We want to see what he got to say about it. So let's go ahead and introduce our guest right now. We got Mr. Bobby Cumby.
Y'all know what it is, man. One half of the Dummies, Bob C in the building, man. Y'all know what it is.
You can also, you can check him out on Dummies That Know Everything podcast. And so, man, it's great to have you here, man, joining us, man. It's been a while. Also, if you don't know, this is one of my brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Family. We family, so it's all good, and it's a blessing to have him here. So, and before we get started, be sure to go ahead and like the video.
Yes.
Go like the page. Make sure to visit us on YouTube at the Soul Fresh Podcast. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Like, love, whatever. Also, you can follow us on all our Instagram platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you can find us at the Soul Fresh Podcast. So, fellas.
Oh, and don't forget, audio version, always, Spotify, Amazon Music.
Apple Podcasts. Google Podcasts.
Everywhere you get your social.
Yeah, anywhere where you stream.
Find your podcast. Show us some love. We'll be much appreciated.
Since you're a first-time guest, Bobby, so before we get started, man, go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
And so, from Warner Robins originally, grew up here, military guy, actually finna get ready to retire and everything, man. I've been a few places, seen a lot of things. Jumped into podcasting with the Dummies about 2 years ago during the COVID year. Mm-hmm. And, we had some good episodes, had some great interviews. Currently coaching at Central Georgia Tech right now. I coach receivers over there, and I'm the assistant offensive coordinator for the college over there, new football program. So if y'all looking for college football down here in Warner Robins, we finally got it. Our season start, first game, August 26th, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you get out there and come check us out. Other than that, though, man, y'all know what it is. Northside, true and true.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Bleed blue.
Yes, sir. All day.
Hey, Central Georgia Tech, that's their color too, and they Titans, ain't they?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I was there that year when they did the naming. One of them years.
Yeah, my brother Terry, the coach.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get into this Chris Rock thing.
Hey, man.
So, the key phrase to this whole comedy thing. First, one by one, go ahead and, Bobby, you start. Go ahead. What's your rating?
I wanted it to be better.
Between 1 and 10.
Yeah, stand-up as a whole.
I wanted it to be better. I would probably, because I'm going to give it a point system. I say 5.7.
Out of 10.
He went.
5.7
okay.
Out of 10.
All right. And that's overall, not just the performance, the whole everything.
The overall from start to finish.
Production, everything.
I mean, now if we gonna add in production, it's above a 6 with all of that. But I'm talking about just content.
Right. 5.7.
5.7.
Okay.
All right. I was factoring in the whole everything from beginning to the end.
Okay.
Because the guy at the beginning was whack, but I didn't need him to open up the show for me.
I didn't see that.
What you seen?
Yeah,
they had a whole opening before the.
You seen something totally.
I hit play and Chris Rock came on.
Oh no!
Came out there with the
It started live like a whole 30 to 45 minutes before that. JB Smooth come out.
I didn't turn it
already.
on till 10.
The Mexican dude that came out there, he was the opening person, like
I ain't see
the opening MC. But anyways, I gave it a 6.5. Yeah.
Okay.
6.5. All.
So
even all inclusive, you ain't
all inclusive. All inclusive. That's what I'm trying to. That's why I was trying to make it more specific so y'all can understand how serious I was about this rating.
Okay.
All inclusive.
6.5.
6.5.
Okay.
So in the beginning, when I first watched it when it was live, I gave it a 6. I wasn't disappointed. I was just like, there's a lot of moments where I didn't really find myself laughing. I was like,
yeah, it was
hey,
too many of them.
I was like, that wasn't funny.
Yes.
But then I went back and watched it this morning.
Again.
And I gave it a 6.5. I gave it 0.5.
So I'm the one that lowballed him.
No. But look, though, only reason why is because, let's talk about it. I was like, something about the truth that people have a hard time getting a handle on. Yeah. So like, let's go with this phrase that was pretty much the theme of the show, which is selective outrage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what I started to find out was, I was like, you know what? He really ain't telling no lies.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some of his jokes, the delivery wasn't there, where I felt like you were going good with the joke, but then the punchline, I was like, that was kind of whack.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a starter comic joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you seasoned. You could.
And this what got me too. Now that you brought that up, I forgot about that. He said, he's a seasoned vet.
Yeah.
I don't expect him to stumble. Like his main joke at the end, oh my bad, I said that wrong.
Yeah.
Because he started talking about emancipation first when he's supposed to be talking about concussion. Like, dude, that was a big gaffe.
But you know what
I'm saying? Like, you can't mess up the biggest punchline of the night.
Yeah. But you got it. But also, as I was watching it the second time,
this is what he was thinking probably.
when I was watching it the second time, I started to also think there is a little bit of genius into being a comic.
Yeah.
To be up there like an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever, and this ain't off the fly.
Yeah.
Most of these comics do like a script.
Yeah.
Like they set their tone, and so to be able to remember,
and they work on their material too.
your material back to back, and then you of course you might freestyle in between, but to go with that flow, that's a little bit of genius there. But so let's talk about the first thing. One of the things he was talking about, which was like, which I felt is true, like woke traps.
Yeah.
And like, so do you feel, let's go with Bobby. So you feel like we in this climate now where is too much wokeness, or everybody's trying to find something to point out?
Oh yeah.
Like, you can't do this, you can't say that. Like,
yeah, it's like, to me, bro, and I know y'all, you see it on social media. I say it all the time. Like, some people need to go to sleep, bro.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cause it's like it's too much of people being outraged about stuff that really don't even matter, or they like it get to the point to where they nitpicking stuff, and it's like, where did you even get that from?
Yeah.
But again, everything is about clickbait, and it's about trying to be seen. So
Likes.
people gonna always jump on the other side of something, and it's gonna be negative in order for them to try to, get their voice out to be heard, just so they can probably end up going back and revert and saying, well, I ain't really mean this. This is probably what I was talking about. But at the end of the day, man, I see a lot of it, man. I'm like, bro, some of y'all just need to sit the hell down, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's funny. I just happened to catch this earlier this morning. Guy was on TikTok and he said, now see, this is why I can't watch any more of the Rocky movies in the franchise, because it was based off racism. And then the guy did a stitch to it or duet or whatever. He said, sure, first of all, this was a movie that had the first black man as one of the main stars in his movie in the 70s, during a time where there wasn't no black men as the lead.
Was this the dude that said that if you think about it, all the Rockies are based off Apollo Creed?
No. That was the other dude. I know you're talking about, but this was the other guy who said he can't even bring himself to watch any more of the franchise because it symbolizes racism. And it's just like you said, these people are going here for the clickbait and the woke trap, because first of all, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
That's dumb. I mean, and then you can tell we're in our 40s. This dude probably was 30.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? All these kids, I tell people all the time, 30 and under, y'all lost. Y'all lost.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Just that 10, 13, 15-year gap,
it's a
lot
it's a difference,
happened that they missed.
It's a difference.
And that's why they're trying to all feed off this woke culture, because they missed the real culture that we grew up with.
Right.
They missed the 80s hip-hop, the 90s hip-hop, and how everything was a culture and a community at the same time.
But also we understand the whole thing about indoctrination. Like it's almost kind of like when we were talking about the music, when we was coming up and we had our little rap group or whatnot, and we were talking about oversaturation. Like how I feel like how people like things is when you sit there and just play it over and over and over, and then it becomes a thing.
Yep. Right.
Like, would we really like trap music if it just got played like one time?
Right.
Versus if you just like listen to it over, it's playing on the radio like back to back to back to back to back. And or would we like certain other type of music, you know, that came about. So I feel like now that's the whole narrative is whoa, you can't do this, you can't do that, and everybody seems like they've gotten so sensitive about everything. It's come on, like now. I've been seeing so many people dog out Chris Rock, like saying stuff like, "Oh, he ain't even been funny in like 15 years." Like, wait a minute now.
His last special was good.
Yeah, y'all was
special was really good.
Tambourine.
Yeah.
So y'all was riding with this dude last year when he got slapped, but then he makes a comment and calls Jada Pinkett a bitch. And now everybody has a problem with him.
Right.
Like, we don't like Chris Rock no more because
he
did. Because he meant it.
He did.
Hey, look, towards the end, there was some anger in his comedy. Hey, there was some anger in his.
Like I had told you in the text, I was like, he did that last 3 minutes like he was scared, bro. He really did. It was like he done got hit and the dude still in the room, but somebody been between them so he can talk now.
Yeah.
That's when I look at him, I'm like, he still really feeling that.
Yeah.
He really still feeling that.
I don't think there was a problem. I mean, get it. They say, you know, hey, we calling black women out their name and whatnot. But at the same time, in this whole culture, it seemed like, once again, this is an example of selective outrage.
Right.
So I've
Speak on
seen
it.
many comedians
Speak on it.
be like, it's a chick in the crowd or whatever,
Yes.
and she talking or laughing or whatever, and be like, bitch, shut up.
Yes.
And then everybody starts laughing, and even the person that got called a bitch is laughing.
Yeah.
So it's funny when it's funny, but then when it's serious, people are like, you can't call no black woman a bitch.
Yeah.
But comedians, Dave Chappelle, I've never heard Kevin Hart say it too often in a skit.
Right.
Earthquake, pretty much all of them. All the black comedians.
All of them. White comedians too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
don't get Bill Burr with eat that word alive, bro.
Yeah. But I'm saying, so
right
it's
there, Bill Burr,
like,
that
once
is.
again, where's the outrage with that? So it's like, wait a minute, like, so when they do it, it's like if they don't piss you off, then it's cool.
Right.
As soon as you make me mad, I'm outraged.
Well, it's kind of like this. I don't know if it was me and you talking the other night, but or we were talking about this podcast today. We were talking about, and think about the people that night when they got in their car and drove home after watching the show or whatever, or getting in their car, whatever they did after they watched the show, whether it was live or on television.
Yeah.
They turned on T.I., Ludacris, Jay-Z, whatever it is that they turned on the radio. And I guarantee they said the B word.
Yeah, that's that Charleston White talk right there.
You know? And they not sitting there, I'm gonna turn this song off because he just called such and such. Like, where was the outrage when old boy called out Meg the Stallion and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Called her, said, man, I banged her, blah, blah, blah. I called it dog rap. There wasn't no selective outrage for that. Yeah. Why? Jada she's a treasure. She's a wonderful treasure in the movie.
So for me,
but she's not.
I think for me, because I think I posted something, I don't know how long ago. It was been within the last year, but for whatever reason, to me, like in general, black people are always looking for somebody to follow and put on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. And if you say anything against them, whether it's wrong or right, whether it's false or true, if it's something negative, they not rocking with it.
Yeah.
And Jada Pinkett to a lot of black people are one of those people.
Yeah.
Just like if you listen to people talk about Nia Long, which everybody loves.
Yeah, right.
And when she went through that whole little issue with old boy, it was like, like that's like the sister, that's like the cousin, that's like it's like at the end of the day, we don't know what them folks got going on. Y'all don't really know these folks like that.
Thank you. And we were talking about that, and that's where we get into this whole concept of paying attention to other people's superstars' lives, and we don't really know these people
at all, bro.
That's why I don't be on here trying to back people like, oh nah, man, that's my dude. He would never do that. You don't know what that man would do. We don't know him
at all.
And so,
they're in a different tax bracket.
I don't put none of that rumor stuff past nobody.
So, but go back to what you were talking about earlier. I've seen it where even when somebody say, all the hoes hit the flow. Everybody take off running and hit the flow. Where my bees at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they start screaming.
You know, like, bees, let me see you bounce that ass. Like, wait a minute. All right, everybody bouncing that ass. So wait a minute, what outrage? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, selective outrage.
Selective outrage.
Selective outrage.
Shit ass backwards, man.
So all I'm saying is that I just feel like he made a good point. If you look at, I think there was an undertone message there and people missed it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and once again, he talked about being addicted to attention. Mm-hmm. But the other thing, though, I want to say is it seems like ultimately, though, this world slowly and surely is becoming addicted to victimization.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Everybody want to be
everybody's
a victim.
a victim.
And I can't, like I said, when I was watching it, I couldn't find the lies.
Yeah.
Like, he was speaking real talk. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go ahead and say something about racism. So I have an issue sometimes. Does this country have a racism issue? Big time. But sometimes I think that we haven't been, I don't want to use the word fixed, but we hadn't been mentally cured of racism. So therefore, and we've been dealing with so much. I think we've forgotten how to identify it.
Yeah.
So now we just point at everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because some stuff I see where, like, maybe a white dude might have called another dude, said, man, you know what, I don't like that dude, man, he's an idiot. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're racist, he's racist.
Yeah.
Man, he's not racist, that was his opinion. That was his opinion. So now we just point everything out.
You can't just speak.
You can't
speak negatively,
about
period, about anything anymore these days, or it's misconstrued or pushed to another level when it's really not that serious. You know, just because, say, me as a black man, I walked into the store and the white lady kind of went a little bit, we grew up with that.
Yeah.
So we gonna look at it and be like, okay, she shrugged off or whatever. We gonna joke about it.
Yeah.
But now these days, this younger generation, the Gen Zs and all this, oh Mike, did you see that? And they pull their phone out.
Yeah.
This lady is racist.
Yeah.
All I did was walk right next to her and she started clutching her purse and say, oh no, get away from me. And now I feel, I can't believe it happened to me. And I never thought it would happen to me. Like, it don't happen like that. Y'all are creating these scenarios now where there's all this racism stuff on camera. It was not like that.
I've seen some videos where and in
You
the comments, everybody was
it.
backing it. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I seen this video one time on TikTok. The dudes kind of baited the dude into him to be hostile. I was like, you know what? If y'all was just minding y'all own business and just kept it moving, everybody would have been good. But y'all like created the situation. And then he responded.
Right.
But y'all kind of created the situation.
Yeah.
How he responded, I ain't got no comment on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he said something racist, that probably makes him a racist. But at the same time, like, you shouldn't. Why are we messing with the dude anyways?
Why push him to? See, that's another issue.
Well, no, the dude in this kind of particular thing, what he said was, he told them they was acting like some thugs. And based on the video, I was like,
but you know how people take that word these days.
Thugs mean thug mean black. So you're racist.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if you saw what happened before they interacted with the dude, I mean, it was some thuggish-ish going on. Like, they was being ignorant.
Right.
Like, because why you messing with the dude anyways?
Yeah.
And I think what people doing, like you saying, they throwing people alley-oops.
Yeah.
Like, just to get people on camera, just so they can start just canceling people.
But now, see the problem we run into as older black men that are still trying not to check
I'm
the
not
younger.
old. I'm not old.
I said older.
Okay.
That's
acceptable.
Why he keep? What's wrong with him?
He did me like that one other time. He called us.
What's wrong
he
with him,
said,
dog?
"Hey, one other podcast, he called us old heads." I'm like, "Nah, cuz."
But he started it though.
I'm still young.
Hey, you started it like Jada. So I'm gonna finish it. But like I'm saying, we can't even check the younger generation these days, even in our age, where we see some young cats like just put us, hey, bro, hey, man, y'all looking real ignorant right now.
Yeah.
Oh, who is you? Who is you? And they so dumb that they don't even know to call us Sambo, but they keep calling us Uncle Tom. That's another thing that's with me with these woke folk. If you're gonna be woke, really know your damn information. Uncle Toms ain't black people that want to try and be white. Uncle Tom was the dude that was helping black folks. The guy's name was Sambo. If you really go back and read the book, which I bet none of y'all did, because nobody likes to read no more. But back to what I said. That's another problem too. They want to be woke, but don't do no damn research.
Nah, they don't. They pull all their information from whatever they can scour off the internet.
I'm just saying, but that pisses me off. Like, how your little young ass gonna try and call somebody Uncle Tom? You don't even know the story.
Yeah.
If I even say the name of the book, you wouldn't even know what I was talking about.
True.
I could just say the name of the author. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I had to go off. You
No, you good.
I do a rant every now and then, man.
Oh yeah, I call him the mad rapper.
He went down the whole tangent, then. He said, fuck it, let's go.
So another thing, since we're talking about black women, he disrespecting black women. They tried to throw they in there supporting Meghan Markle because they were like, oh, he shouldn't have been dogging her out. Once again, where's the lie?
But everything he said about that was true. It was like,
Because guess what? You should have just Googled it.
Yes.
How did you not know that the royal family was not the racist most racist family?
That makes you look even dumber.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even do you about to be married into the royal family.
And you thought it was gonna be
what you damn think.
You thought they were just gonna be like, come on, Megan.
I don't care what preconceived notion you have about these people. If you know anything as a black person, period, if you know anything about colonization, you know who was in charge of that.
Yeah. Dude, you know how many countries they took over in
come
Africa?
on, bro. Their whole museum is littered with stuff from Africa.
but listen,
No, this is the ironic thing about it, though, right?
Crazy, boy.
If you have some rich black people in that same atmosphere, they act the same way. Against another black person or anybody of color. They gonna look at it the same way.
Yeah.
She could have been who she was, and it could have been a prestigious African family that's royalty or whatever the case is. They gonna look at it like she ain't too.
Yeah.
Cause they looking at it like, well, what are you doing here? What you bringing to the table? Then so you can't call it racist then?
Yeah.
Oh, they just don't like me. No, them folks being who they are.
They probably
asking the
looking at
right questions.
It's funny. They supporting her now, but then when she first came out and, went with the royal thing and started dating him and got married or whatever, they was all, bashing her. Like, oh, she ain't black enough. Oh, she want to be black now that she getting mistreated.
Yeah.
Like, come on, make up your mind. Are you with her or are you not?
Yeah.
Once again, selective outrage.
This is probably what it was. It's funny. Chris Rock should have mentioned this too. Cause she knew what she was going into. Just like I said, any in-laws, you supposed to do your research or whatever when you go into that family. You should know how that part of the family is probably gonna look at you. If you know that they just gonna look at you kind of sideways a little bit, then you should already be like, kind of on your P's and Q's or whatnot. But like BK said, do your Google, do whatnot. They probably looked at her, first of all, like, did you know who you was marrying? Was you that dumb? Like, did you even think far enough ahead that, hold on, I'm marrying the most racist family in history.
Yeah.
But because you couldn't even take the time to do your research, me as an in-law part of the royal family, I would look at her too like, you stupid.
Yeah.
You was by dumb. Because you knew we was going to roast your ass.
I'm just thinking about, because if you, let's generalize it, right? Let's think about families in general. If you didn't grow up around the person that you end up marrying and then like that, everybody gonna look at you sideways in the other family regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of what color you are, what you got going on, if you was a dope boy, because ain't gonna be somebody in their family that know who you was or what you did.
Yeah.
Hey, that motherfucker.
We're gonna trust them.
Right. And so again, that part to me is natural because even with my situation, like I'm married into the family and my wife asked her brother, he was like, what you know about Bob? At least you like, he a good dude, he a stand-up guy, whatever, but hey, you might have to be ready to fight because there'll always be some fighting behind him or whatever the case is. And again, that's not bad or good, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
I could have been like, but if they happen to be white, then I can say it's racist and I can be right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what you're saying basically, where we at now, hollering racism is like a good escape to get out of a situation.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
But
what
once again, it comes back to what you said, victimization.
Yeah, it's just
everybody's hollering victim.
Everybody the victim, man. That's just crazy.
It's like it's the new Me Too.
Yeah.
That's all. It's the Me Too.
Here's probably the hardest thing that I heard him say throughout the whole thing, especially when he got on that. Probably the whole thing. He made a point about that, saying, well, the royal family and the white folks was they was worried about, you know, how dark he was gonna be, and like, you know, it's like, and he said, black folks is probably the number one, and you know we do that.
Yes.
You know I don't look, man, I'm 43 years old, and I swear I've heard that at least 100 times.
Yeah.
Where people, you know, when the baby first come out, most babies come out light skinned, but then you can always tell the baby gonna be with the ears.
And Portia Williams said on Breakfast Club the other morning, she said, look at the knuckles.
Yeah.
They said the knuckles will tell you too.
Yeah.
I said, now that's a new, I didn't know about the
And once
knuckle
again,
thing.
so there's a whole internal racism or colorism
Colorism, there it is.
issue that we already have. Because once again, I'm dark skinned, but guess what? At the end of the day, sometimes people act like, well, I don't even really want a dark skin, baby. Like, so I hope you don't get too black. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard that.
Yeah.
You know, people really be analyzing those ears. So that was the hardest thing he said.
Yeah.
And once again, tell me where the lie is.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people are bashing Chris Rock and you know, just really giving him a hard time, when I think once again we get into this point with this new generation is people just fail to want to just grasp and accept the truth.
Yeah.
You know, they want to just make it like you just said a few minutes ago, it's easier to holler a victim than to just accept the truth of what somebody's saying.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle keep it real. Like
All the time.
People don't like the truth no more.
Yeah, at all. Like you tell somebody the truth about you, they're gonna make you feel like you're wrong.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all one more question before we get, you know, wrapping up this segment and whatnot. When it came to him speaking on Will as a whole, now Will Smith himself.
I expected more, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do you feel that him saying this person called him a bitch, this person called him this person called him this, he called everybody else that called Will's name a B, right? And then he proceeded to call Will Smith's wife the same word.
Yeah.
Not one time did he call him that word himself out his mouth. Did y'all peep that?
Call who?
Will Smith. He never said, yeah. And to me, he said, but what he did was B ass.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Who? To my Chris Rock?
Yes.
No, he did call Will Smith that.
He said everybody else called him one. He never specifically called him one himself. He called Jada one, but he didn't call Will Smith. He said what he did was some
I want to
bitch
say
ass
I think
shit.
he still called him one,
I
but
think
he
he
pointed
did.
out that everybody else called him one first.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it seemed like you took all this time, a whole year, to get back at this man and say something. That's all you could come up with?
Once again, that's another issue everybody's talking about. The biggest issue is everybody's talking about the time frame. I don't think we should put limits on when people should be able to speak out.
No. I'm not talking about the
Because
time frame.
he never got a chance. No, I'm just saying with mainly other people. So you gotta understand, he never spoke on it.
Right.
So
No.
I don't feel like, who cares if he took a year or 2 years and people say, oh, get over it. It was last year. Whatever.
No.
Nah, man, he should be able to get whatever he want to get off his chest. He's the one that got assaulted.
Exactly.
So he should be able to get it off his chest and speak his mind. And then don't matter, once again, that we can try to control people on when they should be able to express themselves.
Right.
Man, that's a man grown. He's an individual, and we shouldn't be able to put limits on his voice.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. And he should be able to speak up and talk about it many times he wants to.
The only thing I was disappointed with is I'm thinking at least half of it gonna be related to that.
This is where the genius at. So you got to look at it. He waited for a year. This whole thing is strategically.
This is chess. He's playing chess.
He's playing chess.
I got it.
It's strategically
he playing chess.
to get the bag.
Yeah.
So why everybody is worrying about, Chris Rock and Will Smith, he just sitting there letting it sizzle. He let it sizzle out when people forgot about it. And people think they moved on from him.
Yeah.
And then he drops out the special.
Yeah.
Because guess what everybody did? Tuned in.
Yes.
And guess what everybody was tuning in for? Not his special, to see what he wanted
was
to
gonna
say about
Yeah.
Will Smith.
True. Yep.
And so, and you notice he waited to the very end. Like, I'm gonna bait y'all in.
Yep.
And then guess what? Because he got the $1 million signing bonus from Netflix, and also he got the back end royalties.
Yeah.
So and he got paid off of that.
Yeah.
When he was already paid,
Yes.
and he just got
He
paid.
spoke on that. He's like, I done made millions of dollars.
And he just got millions. So that's why at the end of the day, I think he's sitting at the house smiling because it worked for him. And he knew that Netflix, when they had that meeting, I bet you he pitched, that's what his pitch was, like, look.
I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Because this is another thing that we all do a lot lately.
Okay.
Everyone's a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
So this is my conspiracy theory about the whole thing.
I'm about 60-40 conspiracy.
Okay, this my whole little spiel. The Illuminati set this up because they don't.
What? I didn't see that, Calvin.
Yeah, I didn't see that one
I
either.
didn't see that.
The Illuminati set this up because see they don't.
I just
have,
left the building.
They don't have rap beef no more, right? So they need another entertainment industry to control.
What you mean they don't have rap beef?
Y'all see what the hell you talking about? They don't got rap
Like,
beef.
No,
seven rappers just got killed in like 3 years.
Listen, you not understand what I'm saying. Their rap beef is so
You talking about like actual like on wax beef?
right, big time names though. I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's
about-
because a new
you need-
generation is involved
I
and
know,
they
and
actually
that's
killing
what I'm
people
saying,
for real.
and that's what I'm saying. So they need a new big target, 2 big targets to go after. Who now? Which entertainment category can you go after? Let's go after big black comedians and entertainers. Let's pit Chris Rock, who we can start a little story that's built up over the years, talking about his wife and Will Smith, and then let's have Will Smith smack him in the place that all the white people be watching more than any other damn thing on television besides the Super Bowl. And we gonna have him slap another black man on that, and then we gonna say Will Smith's career is over. Chris Rock, we don't know if he'll ever be able to shake this off and come back. Will Smith, if he didn't mess up at the Oscars, would be getting another Oscar for Emancipation. Am I lying? No. He making money, he making deals, he making shows with Discovery Channel and everything. Chris Rock doing the most stand-up that he ever did in his life. True. And he just goddamn signed a big deal with Netflix that wouldn't have happened if his ass hadn't got slapped the shit out of last year.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, that's my conspiracy theory. I follow you.
I'm just letting you know when I do the post edit, I'm gonna have to hit you with the whoop, whoop, whoop.
Go ahead. Hey,
I
follow you.
But I mean, that was good though. That was deep. You took me down the rabbit hole, but I at one point I had to back up. I can't go no farther.
I follow you. I don't know about all that right there, but I understand where you're going though. I do. I really do understand where you're going. Yep. But so to end this segment on. Because what you said, I get it. I understand the debating part of it and hold it to the last minute.
Yep.
But I still expected more. I didn't expect 3 minutes of him talking about it. I at least wanted 10.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more jabs, a little bit more whatever, a little bit more funny because, again, his special before this was good.
Yeah.
It was.
And so I'm looking at, he got some shit to talk about now.
Oh, yeah.
And when I went into it, I wasn't thinking that he was going to go the whole segment about Will, but at the same time, I'm thinking when he go in on Will, he finna go in on him. And it was just, to me, it was like when he got to that part, if you go back and watch it again, you can look at him and see a change in him when he was talking. Like, he's still scared.
His booty hole got tight.
Yeah, it was like, because I'm sitting there looking like.
He was a little mad too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just jokes.
Yeah, it was like, it really flared back up in him. And so I'm looking like, yeah, that motherfucker's still scared.
Yeah.
Like, it's still something there. And again, I get it. So you probably don't want to spend that much time talking about it because, you was the one who humiliated.
Yep.
And then people tried to make it seem like Will was right, which he was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I get it, but him being who he is, for him to have the composure the day he got slapped and to have a whole year to come, bro, you really supposed to it's supposed to be a good 10, 15 minute viral section of you going off on him with just clips and bombs and bombs and bombs.
Because when it ended, I didn't expect it that that was it.
Yeah,
I thought he was just getting started.
Yeah, when he dropped the mic on that, I was like,
that's it?
That's it. I was like, he about to pick it back up though.
And so, because I think even with because I'm not gonna say it was lackluster because again, it was a lot of genius in it, and he stayed with the Selective Outrage throughout the entire thing because he pointed out a lot of stuff that, again, like you said, you can't find no lies in what he was saying. Some of the stuff was kind of like,
So that would have changed your low rating if he had to put more time on Will?
If he would have ended with 10 minutes of him like really going in I probably would have gave him a
Smash it out.
7.5 or something.
Yeah. I think that's where I am too.
But it was just like,
He just fleshed it out.
Because when he started talking about it, I hit the little button to see how much time left. I said 4 minutes.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. So based on his comedy, this is one of the comments I saw online. Based on his comedy and the one that you just saw in Tambourine and all the other sketches, somebody said that Chris Rock only makes comedy for white people with black friends.
I hear that all the time.
What you think about that?
It's some truth behind it.
Yeah.
He is a black white person's comedian. If I said that right.
I thought it was Hannibal Buress.
Because even if you him, Rail,
I mean, think about it. Most of them are Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle too. But he even in his movies, like a lot of the stuff that he do in his movies is not what a black person would do.
It's more slapstick comedy.
Yeah,
like white
and
comedy.
so
But I wonder if this the issue is. You understand? When you get money, he been rich a long time.
even when he didn't have money, think about CB4.
When he didn't have money, he was CB4. He was New Jack City.
But okay, so in CB4 though, it was again like you said, slapstick. He was so overzealous with the character.
Yeah,
it was like, bro, ain't nobody doing that.
Over the top. He's always been over the top.
And so I guess you can chalk that up as consistency. That's who he is. So therefore, you got to put him in that category because if you got, I guess if you want to say real black person, whatever the case is, but if you got a normalized black person, they're gonna look at that and be like, brother, we don't know nobody like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if we do know somebody like that, they don't hang around us.
Mm-hmm.
They hang around white people. Mm-hmm. Or they hang around a mixed crowd, which again ain't nothing wrong with it, but you can kind of tell that's who he is, which again is fine.
Yeah, he went to House of County High.
Hey, you know who
he went to Warner Robins. I give him that.
Nah, he didn't go to Warner.
He didn't go to Warner Robins. He went to House of
You gotta
County.
get them South boys. You gotta get them Southside boys a little credit.
He went to whole thing.
All right.
All right.
So, hey, appreciate you checking us out. Once again, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, at the Soul Fresh Podcast. But most importantly, follow us on YouTube. And when you get to YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. Like the content, like the videos, and share it. You know what I'm saying? Show us some love. This is the Soul Fresh Podcast. I'm your host, BK.
And I'm your host, J. Steve.
Peace.
Thank you for checking out another episode of the Soul Fresh Podcast. If you want to catch the audio version, make sure you go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you want to check out the video version, make sure you head on over to YouTube. And when you get there, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and go ahead and turn on that notification bell. And in the meantime, until the next time, keep it 100, be blessed.